Okay, good day guys, and welcome today to AGIT Codeworks, and today we are going to be looking at an important one. This one is for those who are slightly new to JavaScript or trying to solve a specific problem in JavaScript. We are going to be looking at how to create a simple slideshow using JavaScript, and we're going to be using pure code, just JavaScript code. We're not going to use CSS to get any transition effects. So this is really important for those who want to learn how to hard code their web pages, especially at the front end, and will also be useful for those who want to learn JavaScript and then go ahead to understand Node.js or React, which are JavaScript frameworks. All right, let's get this. Let's look at the final effect we are looking at of achieving. Okay, first of all, this is a simple slideshow. So notice every 3 seconds this moves to another picture. Every 3 seconds it moves to another picture, right? So first of all, how we do this is we are first of all going to open a folder called slideshow. All right, create a simple file, name it slideshow.html. all right, you have to follow me now. You have to code along to get the exact same result, and we're going to be using JavaScript to do this. Okay, all right, so first of all, we have a slideshow here. I can open it with my VS Code. Now, first of all, of course, if you're not new to programming, you should know this already. I'm using VS Code right here to code my own page, but you could use any other text editor. You could use Sublime Text, you could use Notepad++, basically any other editor will do, and then you just need a browser to run the code. All right, so let's start this. So first of all, we're going to have our basic HTML page. HTML, close the page, HTML. Right, here we go. All right, so in our HTML page, we are basically going to have the head, tag, and then we are also going to have our body tag, header tag, followed by our body tag. All right, okay, so so first things first, we are going to get our picture. So in the same location as our slideshow, we are going to copy these 3 pictures. Okay, these 4 pictures, these are 4 pictures that will make up our slideshow. Copy it, then we paste it to our, so in the slideshow folder, file, not folder, sorry, I'll create a folder and call it images. So please take note of the location of this folder. In the same location as this file, I have a folder called images. Inside the images, I have the 4 images I am going to be using for my slide. Okay, so this is slide 1.png, slide 2.png, slide 3.png, slide 4.png. all right, let's take it to the next level, and then let's first of all create a simple image tag that's going to be modified by JavaScript. Okay, we have the img tag, and then src would be the location of the images. So my first image is what will be here. So it will be images / slide1.png. So because they are all going to be in the same folder, be on the same part of our website, and also have the same size, we have to give this a width property and a height property. So so the width property would go here. For the width property, let's just say 100%. That would mean that the image is going to span the entire horizontal length of the screen, whether it was opened on a mobile phone or opened on a PC. Then the height, let's say 400 pixels. Okay, that's a good one. Now for JavaScript to be able to interact with this image element, I have to give it an ID. So ID is going to be equals to, let's just say pics. All right, then we can just put a header tag under it to say a simple JavaScript slideshow. So header tag starts here, header tag ends here. So we just say JavaScript slideshow. Okay, if you are with me up till now, this is the basic simple image that we're going to be used for our slider. So we're going to be sliding this from slide 1 to slide 2 to 3 to 4. Now to be able to achieve this, we will need some dynamism which can be done using JavaScript. So let us open our JavaScript. That JavaScript is basically written in a script tag in HTML. So first of all, let us open our script tag. So let's code along. Like I said, I'm keeping this really simple, strictly for beginners, but something very useful in making almost any website look professional and presentable. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to create a variable in JavaScript. I'll call it var current. That means a variable called current is going to hold the number of our current slider. Okay, the current slide is in 1. Okay, so as you can see. So next thing we are going to do is to use a special JavaScript function that's going to control the timing of our sliding. Okay, it is called the set interval function. Now, a little explanation here. This set interval function, it does something remarkable. What it basically does is it takes 2 arguments. One is the name of a function. Let's just call a function slide. And then the second argument it takes is a number in milliseconds. Okay, we need this slide to run to change the image every 3 seconds. So that will be 3,000 milliseconds. That's a no-brainer. 1,000 milliseconds make a second. All right. So now what this set interval here will do, this is basically what controls the sliding. Set interval basically is useful with animation and repeating a task in the background in JavaScript. So basically it's going to run this slide function every 3 seconds. So it behooves us now to have a slide function, right? So I create the function here. So we say function slide. Okay. So this is a simple function. So what this function does is very simple. It's going to get the image, test the current slide, and then move it to the next slide. And when it gets to the 4th one, it moves back to the 1st one. Okay. When it gets to the 4th one, okay, not first, 4th one, then it moves back to the 1st one. Okay. All right. Now that is well said, the first thing this will do is to increase the current variable by 1. This is what we call an increment operator. Okay, so we increase current by 1. Okay, so this is called the increment operator, the plus. It basically increases this variable by 1. So next thing we will do is we are going to get the image element. How do we do that? Document dot get element by ID. That is what we are looking for. So which ID are you trying to get? That will be pics. And then what do you want to do to pics? We are going to modify the srec property of pics, which would be what controls the image the element is displaying. So I'm going to change this to images with a slash, and I concatenate. Okay, concatenate here. Now this concatenation here is going to hold the current number, which enables it to move from one picture to the other. Please watch what I did here. This first quote stops here and then concatenates something, and then with the closing quote. So what is it concatenating? So we are going to have slide here, and then in between these plus signs we have current. Wrong spelling. Oh, come on. So current. So it will be slide. Like right now it has increased it by 1, so this is 2. So this will be slide, okay, 2, followed by our .png. Perfect. So this has basically moved the image element from slide1.png as a source to slide2.png. All right. Okay. Now, before we go ahead to check our code, it's very important we test whether we've gotten to the 4th slide. So I'm going to say if current is equals to 4. The good thing about this code is that all you need is your editor and a browser to execute it. I had to mention that you do not need a XAMPP server or any stuff like that because of backend code or web servers. All right, so I'm checking if current is equal to 4. If current is equal to 4, what do? We send current back to 0. So that means we restart the slide. Okay, we restart the slide. Of course, the slide will get here, make it 1, make it 2 again, make it 3, then 4. Once it displays the 4th one, it changes it back to what do we call it? 0, current back to 0, and then does the same. Then set interval does the job of doing an animation. Notice, please observe, set interval is not inside the function. It's outside the function, because once the page loads, we want set interval to execute and then start running the slideshow. Every 3 seconds, changing the picture. All right, pretty simple. All right, let's see the result of this code. Okay, let me close this one. So this is our code here. So let's see how this goes. I launch the site. So you observe every 3 seconds it changes. So this is successful. Changes, 1, 2, 3, it changes, 2, 3, it changes again. So right, every 3 seconds. So basically, of course, this is a no-brainer. You should have realized now by that if you wanted it to take less time, you want the slide to move faster, you will just change this to 1. That means the sliding now happens every second. It's going to be pretty fast, but for the sake of demonstration, let's look at this. I refresh this. You see the slide moves pretty fast now. That's 1 second. Okay, so that's it. So that's how you build a simple slideshow using just basic JavaScript code, and that's the power of the set intervals function. It basically runs in the background and performs a particular task every second. All right, if this video was quite helpful, you can hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to also like and drop whatever questions you have on the comment section. Please do have a wonderful rest of the day.